Alright, welcome back everyone. This is GreatWhiteNortherner again with another coin roll hunt for you. Today we got two boxes, so we are going to flip to see which one we're going to open first. If we find some stuff in the first box, then I will save the other one for another day. If we get skunked on the first box, then we'll open up the second one and we'll coin roll hunt that one as well. So, pulled out a coin, just happened to be sitting around here. I have my it's just a 1867 Confederation to 1982 Constitution coin. So this is a $1 coin from 1982 in Canada here, celebrating the Confederation and Constitution, or the writing of a new Constitution for Canada in 1982, if you can believe that. It was actually only in 1982 that we established our own Constitution here in Canada and removed a bunch of British constitutional amendments that were in our Constitution at that point in time. So we became a kind of a wholly separate country from Britain at that point, which is not really all that long ago. So anyway, so we'll use this. Heads, I guess we'll start with say quarters. Tails, it'll be the dimes. And we'll open up that box, see how we do, and decide whether we're going to open up the other box or save it for another video. So here we go. Heads are for quarters. And looks like tails, so we're going to do the dimes first. So I will open up the box. I have checked these boxes. They are both customer wrapped coins, so as I have mentioned in other videos, in Canada here, unlike down in the States, the government is, or the mint is actively removing older coins from circulation, so we don't want to see machine wrapped coins in here. If we do, we know they're all going to be 2001 or later. Whereas these are all customer wraps, so who knows what we're getting in this. So hopefully we get some good stuff, and if we don't find anything in the dime box, then we will move on over to the quarter box and see what we can find there. So anyway, go along for the ride, and I'll bring you back in as soon as I find something. Alright, we're off. Alright everybody, welcome back. As you can see, this is the first roll. I just opened this up. There, just take that first roll out of the corner, one of those clear plastic ones, dumped it out. And there is, I think there's a couple clad, or there's some very rusty coins in here. So we definitely got some older coins in the roll. But in here was just one that kind of caught my eye. And I don't know if you can see it, but it is right here. Yeah. So that is one of the centennial coins from 1867 to 1967. Has, I think that's a marlin, I forget now. A marlin or sturgeon maybe, I forget what the fish is that's on there. But that is the last year of, well, I guess 1968 technically was the last year, so there was a partial run of silver coins in 1968, and then they switched over to nickel. But this was the commemorative year, and so these are 50% silver. They went up to 1966 with 80% composition, and then these ones were reduced to 50%. Let me see if I can get in here and get in a little bit nicer shot of that without letting that, there we go. So yeah, so it's 50% silver. It's a nice find in there. It's a commemorative coin for the centennial of our Confederation. Yeah, it's pretty scratched up, but silver, so I'll take it. So that's a good start. That's the first roll in the box. So hopefully we have some more finds, so that's awesome. I don't think there's anything else in here. There's a bunch of rusty coins. Let's just quickly scan through here. I don't see anything jumping out at me. It's just that one was just slightly off color. For those of you who kind of watch all the American coin roll hunting, is so much easier for you guys. There's a 1980. I think that's a little bit different, a little bit lower mintage. I'll double check that one. Oh no, there's a variation on that, narrow O versus the wide O. I'll have to double check that one under a microscope in a second, or under my loop. Don't see anything else in here. There's an all beat up. No idea what that is. Looks like it's new nickel. So yeah, that appears to be it. I thought there was some US in there, but I guess they were just rusty. So I'm not sure how much of that I blocked with my hand. I might have to edit that out. Anyway, there's a little bit of silver, so it's a good start. Hopefully we get some more stuff. I'll bring you back in if I find something. Alright, so bringing you back in here on actually just the second roll, and I'm kind of encouraged by what I'm seeing in these rolls, at least the clear packaged ones. There are quite a few in that box, as you can see if we kind of pull up here. There's a bunch of them there, and they look to all be fairly trashy. Like there's a lot of rusted and well worn and stuff that looks like it's very weathered. Like this guy here, I almost thought was silver. If I can get that to come in on focus there. But it's just a very almost sandpapered 1974 dime. There's a lot of rusty ones here. So it looks like maybe stuff that somebody's been picking up, maybe been out with a metal detector. Hard to say. But yeah, a lot of them are bent. The other roll had a bunch of bent ones in as well. Anyway, I thought I'd just pull these ones out and kind of talk about them. Some of them I will keep, and some of them I just kind of wanted to address some of the features to be looking for and varieties to look for. So the one here, this is a 1972. It's a lower mintage. It's about 60 million that were minted of the 1972. Typical mintage runs for Canadian dimes in that period and up through to now are anywhere from 150 to 300 million or more. So under 100 million, I'm just kind of setting those aside, and I'll probably cull the worst ones as time goes on. But for now, I'm just pulling out the ones that I find. Again, the one beside it here is a 1969, is also a lower mintage, is about 56 million of the 1969s. So that's 1 year after we switched halfway through in 1968 to the from silver to nickel. And then the last two are 1998 and a 1999. And the only reason why I pulled those out is there are some variants. The 1998 has a W mint mark version that came just in sets, so if you find them in circulation, they're going to be a little bit rare. This one is not. It does not have the W mint mark on the back here. As you can see, it'd be right underneath the Queen Elizabeth's head. And then same thing with the 99, there is a P. So this is the year they switched from, well, they didn't officially switch until 2001, I believe, but in 99 they were testing the new steel and zinc coated dimes. So the original ones were nickel. These are the new ones with the P on it will be the steel coated ones. So unlike again in the States, we don't do it by those mint marks are not really mint marks. They're not showing where they were minted. We have the two mints in Canada, one in Ottawa, one in Winnipeg. So they don't really designate by where they were minted. The P is for the plated steel coins. So this one is not, unfortunately. I don't think there are very many in circulation. They'd be really hard to find, but certainly ones to watch out for. Both in 1999 and in 2000, there are a very short run of P minted or dimes minted with a P mark, a mint mark underneath the head here. So something to watch for in the 1999s, and then the W on the 1998. And of course I'm just pulling out those lower mintage ones. So we'll keep moving on. As I said, pretty encouraged. These are pretty crappy looking coins, so I think they're being picked up from somewhere and thrown in a roll. So hopefully we find some more old stuff. Alright, moving on. Alright, we are back at it. This is actually roll 3. I just moved up to, I'm going to do these ones first, I guess. And I opened up this one, and I think we have another silver find here. As you can tell, I started to say it earlier, in the States you guys have it a little bit easier when you're coin roll hunting because you've got all your clad coins, which are so much different from our very silvery looking Canadian coins. As a matter of fact, quite often when I'm watching coin roll hunting videos, it's the Canadian coins will quite often fool people because of their coloration. So it's so hard to find them in a roll or edge hunting in Canadian dimes, but they are darker, and I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. There is a darker coin amongst all these, and so I'm just going to pull that one out, and you can see here, yeah, that is a 1955 dime. It's so that's a 80% silver dime. Oldest one I've found so far is only my second box of dimes that I've been coin run hunting, but obviously with the oxidization on silver, so they darken up a little bit, which makes them a little bit easier for me to find, because it's pretty easy to miss them. If it hasn't oxidized, they are kind of difficult to pull out of these nickel-clad, the nickel coins. So yeah, anyway, that's awesome. There's another dime. I'm only 3 rolls in. Another silver, and again, a lot of trashy coins in here. So I really do think somebody was maybe doing some hunting and has just rolled everything up and thrown them in. So hopefully we find something else. I don't see anything else in here right now. I will go through and look for some of the varieties, and I'll pull you back in if I find something. Alright, cool. Number 2. We'll add this one up over here beside our other silver and move on to the next. So I thought I'd circle back for a second. This is the 1969 that I pulled out earlier. Not only is it a low mintage year, but it also has one of the key varieties that you want to look for. It's extremely rare, very low likelihood that you'd ever find one in circulation. I don't think there's, if I remember correctly, there's only been 5 found or something like that. Very, very small number of them. But there is a large date and small date version. This is a small date, obviously. It is, I'll see if I can get close enough so that you can kind of make out the date. So 1969. You can see in that style, the large date version is taller. It has a much longer loop on the 6 and the 9 going up and down. So it is fairly easy to recognize that, and it's, I think, very similar to the font used on the 1968 quarter. So you could compare it to a 1968 if you were trying to see the difference. But so that's the 69, and then if we kind of pull up here, that is the information. So you can see the difference between the 69 for the small date and the large date. As to how that's structured. So anyway, that's it. I have talked about that in previous videos, so I probably won't do that again in future ones. We'll just mention if I've found a small date or a large date. But I'm trying to educate people, try and give people that opportunity to see how these, what to be looking for when they're coin roll hunting or when they're looking in their change in their pockets. So hopefully that is helpful for those that are digging through. Alright, we'll move on. We're still on 3rd roll here, so I'm just going to crack the 4th roll in a second. Alright. I thought I'd bring you guys back in here because I just haven't had much luck with anything at all. You can see I'm on roll 34. And I don't have much to show you here, but I thought I would just bring you in because it had been a while. And so this coin here, the 1968, let's see if we can get in there and catch that date. We're going to focus here. There it comes in. So this is a 1968. That is that is the year where they switched from silver to nickel. I have actually run across probably about half a dozen of these so far, and I did actually check it already. It's not silver, but I thought I would kind of come in and talk about it. You can see the magnet attracts it, and so it's not a silver coin. I did pull out just out of this stack as well. This is a 1976, and it is a lower mintage, about 95 million of them that were made, so I'll set that one aside. Yeah, it was unfortunate. The rest of those clear plastic ones really didn't yield anything else. I had some great hopes for those, but they did not give me any more silver. I just have the 2 still there. You can see I pulled out a bunch of US coins. Again, nothing exciting. They're mostly 2000s and some 90s and a couple 60s and, well, a couple 70s in there as well. And then the low mintage coins that I'm pulling out here, and I'll go back over those when we get to the end of the video. So nothing too exciting, just those 2 silver really at the end of the day. And but you know what? We've got 16 more rolls after this one to go through, so who knows? Maybe I will find more silver. Alright, so we are finished up here. The box is empty. We've gone through everything. We kind of started off with a bang and ended with a whimper. The rest of the box was a bit of a dud. I did pull a few more low mintage coins out and some US coins you can see here. Nothing exciting in these US coins. I will pan over them so you can kind of see. The only one that was of any real interest was the 1965. We got very close to a silver coin in there, but missed by 1 year. Otherwise, just a bunch of mostly 90s and 2000s as far as the US coins go, but they're all worth a little bit more than Canadian money, so I will hang on to those. Of course, the silver will come back to there, and then of course it's the lower mintage ones that I pulled out. So this is the second box that I've done, and we got there 2, 4, 7, 9, 12, 13, 14 out of, what was it, 2,500 dimes. And that's about what I got on the last box as well. It might have been 1 or 2 more. So it's a very small number. And I probably, these are just the low mintage ones. There's about 10 years that I'm looking at. There are maybe less than 5 per roll that are below 2001. So that alloy recovery program, which started in 2003, has done a pretty good job of yanking all the older denominations out of the our coin rolls, so or out of circulation. So it is definitely a challenge to find these, and these are, I think, becoming a little more rare. They are not in the greatest shape. There's a couple nicer ones here. This 1976, but specifically this 1969. I did pull it aside, and it is in really nice condition. If I can get that to focus there. Should come in there hopefully in a second. Maybe not. Yeah, so it's a 1969. Really nice shape, so I will definitely check to see if that improves the one I have in my collection. And then really the highlights, so actually I will go through the years, so just so you know what I'm pulling out here. 1969, the 1971, the 1972, there's a 1976, a couple 1976s, 3 1982s, and then the 1991. All of those with lower mintages, all below 100 million in mintage, and some of them closer to 50 million. So they are hard to find, so I will keep pulling them aside. And then of course the 2 highlights of the video are our 2 silver coins there. One is a 50% silver, the Centennial piece, and then the 1955 with a little oxidation on there. It's quite dark. You can see the young head on the back there. And yeah, so that one's an 80% silver, if I didn't mention that earlier. And yeah, that's a pretty good find. When I started doing this, I really didn't have a whole lot of hope that I would find much in the way of older coins or silver in our rolls, especially with this alloy recovery program. But so far, I have had some success. I've had 1 silver quarter out of 2 boxes, and now I've had 2 dimes in this box. So it, that's a pretty small sample, and we're getting some results, so I will continue this series, and hopefully you guys find it interesting. My goal is to make it informative as well, so that's why I am kind of talking about some of the varieties and some of the lower mintage pieces, and just some of my strategy as far as trying to find some value in this coin roll hunt. So hopefully that was interesting to you guys, and I think we will stop it there and come back and do the quarter box another time, so that'll be another video. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Take care.